When you are ready, Representative Vang, if you would please move your bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this is, as I said earlier, this is the Ag Policy Omnibus Bill. And I also have the DE that I would like to move before the committee.
Okay, Representative Vang moves our DE amendment to House File 1587. All those in favor of adopting the DE amendment, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. The DE is adopted. Now, please, to your bill, Representative Vang.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this is the to the DE to House File 1587. There's about 6 other provisions on there. So the first provision is regarding allowing the commissioner to have a designee to catch a wild pig if necessary. And the second provision allows, talks about the non-native phagocytes. Section 5 through 9 talks about genetically modified organisms, the nurseries and plant protection, dairy law enforcement, and repealing a section of the dairy law on, and these are policy bills that we've heard earlier this session. And if members have any questions, I'm happy to take any questions. And we also have staff from the department who can help answer any questions too.
Thank you, Representative Vang. Discussion to the bill. Representative Vang, I don't know if it's your microphone. Maybe if you can switch microphones or get a little bit closer. Yours seems to be significantly quieter than the rest of ours. I want
Okay.
to make sure we can hear you.
Sounds good.
Discussion to the bill. Yes, Lead Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Not quite sure if you've gone through the entire bill yet. If you haven't, I can wait. But my question is on section 61, Madam Chair. I think we need to have the department give us some indication of how they're going to handle testing on a detectable level. That's a big change, a big jump from current statute. So could the department, if anybody is here, tell us if they're capable of and the additional expense of this new level of detecting chemicals in nursery stock?
Thank you, Lead Anderson. I am remiss because we have testifiers and I did not ask for testifiers to come up. So I believe if we can come back to your question after we hear from our testifiers. The first testifier, Lori Cox, who's over Zoom. Please state your name for the record and begin your testimony.
Thank you much. Madam Chair, Chair Vang, and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify in support of MDA's expansion of the Emerging Farmers Office and its associated initiatives in this agriculture omnibus bill. I moved to Carver County over 8 years ago and leased our land and farm operation. I fit the definition of new beginning farmer and transitioning farmer. This year I entered into a partnership pilot with Big River Farms, a farmer incubator. This pilot enables farmers experience with their education program to lease directly from me with mentorship if needed, but nearly no oversight. This type of food and fiber production takes immense knowledge of planning, business acumen, physical labor, costs quantification, soil structures, irrigation, crop types and availability, equipment needs, land layout, markets and sales channels, logistics, and direct marketing, so we enable their independence. The office works with non-tribal and tribal communities alike. MDA recognizes barriers associated with these goals and created the office of one potentially serving thousands. Everyone can agree that's not sufficient and is now a time of agency and strategic planning. These are not producers with generational land with used equipment ready to be transferred. These are emerging farmers, some new to Minnesota. Everyone wants farmers to know they are supported. Additionally, MDA created the Emerging Farmers Working Group dedicated to this cohort voice, just as other groups advocate for their own efforts. We have some momentum and can't slow down now. There will always be emerging farmers. If COVID taught us anything, it's that we don't have nearly enough locally produced and accessible foods throughout Minnesota. This office expansion will help change that and is a win for all communities, rural, suburban, and urban. This committee's support shows your love of all agriculture, and National Agriculture Day is every day. With decades of support behind other types of farming, this is past due. With your yes vote for the Emerging Farmers Office expansion, there will be more local foods, stronger economies, food security, and more farmers for generations. I humbly ask for your support for all Minnesotans in this Ag Omnibus Bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Our second testifier is Stu Laurie from Minnesota Farmers Union. Please state your name for the record and proceed.
Thank you, Chair Purcell and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Stu Laurie, and I'm Government Relations Director for Minnesota Farmers Union. And I just wanted to share our brief support for HF 1587 as amended, and particularly as it includes your bill, Chair Purcell, HF 1314, which bans confidentiality clauses in carbon market contracts. This mirrors longstanding law that prevents confidentiality clauses in ag production contracts. It also mirrors the Senate policy bill, which we're very grateful to see. Basic transparency is a good thing. It's going to help protect farmers and inform best practices in the industry, and we very much appreciate that bill's inclusion. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Anyone else from the public who wishes to testify for or against the bill before we return to Lead Anderson's first question of member discussion? Anyone from the audience today? Okay, seeing none, we'll return to Representative Anderson's question, and I believe it's on page 23 of the bill, line 23.27. That's the change to has the detectable level, correct? And maybe someone from the Department of Agriculture can approach the stand. Thank you. Identify yourself before the committee and proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the committee, my name is Peter Chesed, Assistant Commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. Representative Anderson, we have been working with Representative Purcell on language to determine some sort of level between detectable and what the EPA currently requires. We haven't had a chance yet to have a meeting with Representative Purcell on that specific language. That'll be happening soon, but I can say that we have a proposal that would use the pollinator protective reference values that the EPA publishes as kind of a baseline for that conversation in terms of determining what level of detection we could go to.
Lead Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I think we're going to act on this bill by Friday, so I would hope that you'd have a meeting soon and to come to some agreement, because it's a point of concern for those that will be affected by this. And I think it also puts an added impact, financial impact on the department to what level you go to. So I wish you well and coming to an agreement.
Thank you, Lead Anderson. Point well taken. Other comments, discussion to the bill? Thank you, Mr. Chetsa. Seeing none, any closing remarks? Representative Vang.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, members of the committee. I'm happy to be carrying this bill and looking forward to your support.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you, and we will have further discussion on this bill later in the week.